We're hanging out today at This Week in High School Sports show sponsor Red Onion Burgers on Mountlake Terrace, and joining me at the table with a delicious panini, I might add, is the owner, Sean Richards. Sean, you're extremely active in the community, and I know you do a lot of work through your charitable arm, Cheeseburger Babies Foundation, and you've got a big event coming up on July 3rd. Tell us about that.
We do. We have the third annual Mountlake Terrace Fireworks Celebration Show at Lake Ballinger. We've got lots of local support with the community that's our sponsors. We feature food booths, live music, carnival games and rides, and of course we light up the sky at 10 o'clock at night. So come on down and join us.
I had a chance to be there last year, and it was a blast. Pun intended, why not, right? Again, July 3rd, thanks to Cheeseburger Babies Foundation and Red Onion Burgers here at Mountlake Terrace.
Welcome to This Week in High School Sports. Teresa Whipple here with Steve Willits, and it's playoff time.
It is. All of our spring sports, except for softball, are into the postseason. Softball will be there by this time next week, and this is where it counts. This is where it matters the most and where teams and athletes are trying to qualify for state.
And we're going to start with baseball, right?
We are. Two of our baseball teams winning their opening rounds of district action and qualifying for the district semifinals, Edmonds-Woodway and Meadowdale. Hard to choose which one we were going to have in this week, so we thought we'd bring one of each. We had a chance to interview Julian from Edmonds-Woodway and Tommy from Meadowdale. Here are those interviews. The Wesco 3A District 1 baseball tournament started over the weekend. Two of our teams advancing into the semifinals already. Rather than trying to decide which team we were going to bring in, we thought we'd bring them both, and one from each team. We have Julian Kodama from the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors and Tommy Dimmock from the Meadowdale Mavericks. Guys, congratulations on making it into the semifinals. We've got to start by talking about Saturday's game. Tommy, wow.
Thank you.
6-0 victory for you guys over Stanwood.
Yep.
Talk about having yourself a game. Let's talk about your hitting first. You step up in the first inning, bases loaded, you're batting in the 4 spot. Grand slam home run to get things rolling.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that moment.
Yeah. Well, I got a first pitch fastball, and I didn't swing at it. It was a strike. And they threw me a curveball, and I laid off of it, and they threw me another fastball. And I just put a good swing on it, and it went out.
You knew right
awesome.
away.
Yeah. It was awesome.
And we always talk about pitchers wanting run support. The pitcher yesterday was you.
Yeah.
So you decided to go ahead and get your own run support. Does that make it easier for you to pitch once you go out back onto the mound there next inning, knowing that you got the lead?
Our head coach, Bill Hummel, always talks about scoring early in playoff games, and I think that's huge in winning playoff games and the momentum of playoff games. You score early, everyone's on your side, and the momentum's on your side, and it's easier to pitch and easier to do everything if you score early. So yeah, that was huge, and it was really fun. And then later on in the game during the 5th inning, you get a little more run support from yourself again. You hit a triple. Yeah.
Talk about that at bat.
Yeah, I was just kind of battling and got late in the count, and I was just kind of protecting and put a good swing on an outside pitch and drove it to right field. It actually hit off the top of the fence, and I thought it was going to be another home run, but I got a triple out of it and scored Travis from second. And, yeah, I got another RBI, and it was more fun. Yeah.
Okay. And as if batting wasn't enough fun, you almost threw a no-hitter yesterday.
I did.
You go into the 7th and final inning with a no-no.
Yeah.
You get the first out, which I guess nice defensive play by Will Schaefer, correct?
Yeah. Will Schaefer made a diving play up the middle off of a borderline what should have been a hit, and he lays out full extension, gets up, throws him out at first, and it was awesome. Super athletic play. It was awesome.
At the time, do you know you have a no-hitter going?
I did at that time, and it made me more nervous. Yeah, but I just tried to calm my nerves and pitch through it. But the next at bat, I threw a 3-2 fastball to the kid, and he put a good piece on it and hit it through the 6 hole and broke up the no-no. But yeah, it was still a lot of fun. Yeah,
easier to take, I guess, when you know that you're advancing into the semifinals and you get the victory either way.
Yeah, it's all about the victory. I mean, a no-hitter would be awesome, but it was still cool to get the win and experience that, and a lot of fun with the team for sure.
And this guy next to you, we're going to get to his no-hitter a little bit later in the show, but first we're going to talk about his day yesterday. Edmonds-Woodway picking up a 10-7 victory over Snohomish, a Panthers team that's never easy to beat. Mm-hmm. And Julian, it looked a little bit scary there early on. You guys were down by 3, I think, in the 4th inning. Mm-hmm. Came back to get the victory. Talk about the game as a whole and what it meant to advance to the next round.
Well, in the beginning, we jumped out early in the first inning. We scored a quick run, so that helped me build confidence because, like Tommy said, it's easier to pitch when you know you have runs coming in. But then, they started hitting, and they started, building a lead. but that just like drove us more. That's what like our coach was getting fired up. He loved it. Samoza was having so much fun. Like he was saying, this doesn't mean anything. Like let's just like Tommy knows Samoza very well. So
That's Dan Samoza, the head coach at Edmonds.
Yeah, he knows that like Samoza loves a challenge. So he didn't even care. He was just excited, and then we just started getting good hits, piecing up like I forgot the word.
Just putting things together. And
there you go.
You guys have been in that position before, and I think that's the thing that might get lost in the shuffle here. Edmonds-Woodway, you guys made it to the state semifinals last year. I know you had a few come from behind victories. When you've been there, done that, does it just give that team that much more confidence when you're down by 3 and say 3 innings to go?
Yeah, but what I think is more impressive is we have a lot of new kids this year to the team, and they just blend right in with the rest of us. And I love how hard we work, and that's why we won the game yesterday. We didn't give up.
No, we don't want to go too much into it. Not your best pitching performance yesterday, right? You've had a great pitching season, but you did do some nice things at the plate. You had a home run also early in that game. Tell me a little bit about that particular at bat.
I didn't even know it was out at first. Just first pitch, fouled it off, but then second pitch he just gave me my pitch a little inside, and I just drove it up the middle, and it just kept going. I thought it was just going to be a double off the net, but it just kept going, and turned out it was a home run.
And that was a solo home run, right?
Yes.
And you ended up with 4 RBI on the day, so tell me a little bit about the other at-bats.
I think it was the fourth inning. We were down 6-3, bases loaded, and he got me they brought in a lefty, so I was kind of disappointed because I'm a lefty, but he got me 3-2, and I kept battling off pitches, and then he gave me a hanging curveball, and I just drove it up. I thought it was another home run too. It was the top of the net, but it was a 3 RBI double, so.
You'll take that, and you'll take the victory. And we
Yeah.
should point out one more reason why that game was special yesterday was why?
Because we advanced, and we get to go play Arlington now.
Well, that too, but final game ever.
Oh, yeah.
I know you were talking about this before the show started. Edmonds-Woodway is getting a facelift next year, the baseball field. What did it mean for you guys to send out the old field in style?
It was really fun. I'm glad I got to play on it this last year, even though I was promised I would get it this year. But no, it was really fun. I wouldn't want it any other way to end it on that field.
Yeah, the new field coming in. Originally, you guys thought you were going to be the first class to get to play on it, and it turns out it's going to be next year. So,
Yeah.
but you'll take that either way. So now both of your teams heading to the semifinals. If you win this next game, it's a double elimination tournament. So if you lose, you can still make it to state. But if you win this next game, you automatically get that state berth, and you go right to the district championship game. Tommy, this is the first time for you guys. I mean, Meadowdale hasn't even been in district action for a few years now, since before you were there. What would this game mean for you to get this victory over Marysville-Pilchuck on Tuesday
Well,
night?
I mean, the district championship game would be huge, but this is the biggest game of the season right now because we're just trying to get that state berth and make it to state and go to regionals and have some fun there. It's just this is the most important game now, and we got to play a tough Pilchuck team who's beat us in the season before. And this is a really important game, and we're gonna try to win as best we can.
Does losing to them during the regular season give you extra motivation, or do you not even need that motivation when you're in a district tournament?
I think we're already very motivated to win this game. We haven't been here in a while, and all the seniors are super motivated. Travis Hagan, Will Schaefer, and myself, of course. We're super motivated. But losing to them earlier in the season, it was a tough game. We played not our best, and we're excited to show them what Meadowdale baseball is really like.
And then, Julian, for you guys, you play the Arlington Eagles. 20 wins, 1 loss on the season, 19-game winning streak. Numbers that you probably try to block out of your head when you're playing them. Does it put a little extra pressure on you, knowing that you're going up against a team that a lot of folks think might be the team to beat for the state championship this year?
No, we played them in the beginning of the season, and it was a nail biter. We were ahead 5-3, I believe, in going into the bottom of the 7th, but they battled back and they snuck in a win. And I feel like this coming Tuesday, I think we're going to show them what Edmonds-Woodway baseball is about, hopefully.
And this is a cool opportunity for folks to get out and not only watch these guys play at the same field, but also to watch them play at a place they've never played before. The semifinals are taking place at Everett Memorial Stadium. It's where the Everett Aqua Sox play. Brand new turf field this year, so synthetic turf, just completed a couple weeks ago, really.
Yeah.
So when you're playing at a place like that where you've got the grandstands and you've got the big scoreboards and the walls with all the sponsorship all over it, it definitely doesn't have a high school feel to it. Tommy, is it a little bit imposing when you play somewhere like that, or can you block it out and think of it as just another baseball game?
You know, at the end of the day, it's just another baseball game. But certainly, you know, there's distractions that come with it, and there's more nervous kids out there, and you know, just the scale of everything is just bigger, and you're on a bigger stage, and you just got to perform and try your best to block all the distractions out and play your best baseball.
So again, doubleheader, 3:45 is when Edmonds-Woodway plays Arlington. So you got the early start there, Julian. Mm-hmm. And then Meadowdale plays Marysville-Pilchuck at 6:15, so immediately after that game. Fun question here. I know you guys are friends. We brought you on together because we knew that already. You've played select ball together. Mm-hmm. We know about the Meadowdale Edmonds-Woodway rivalry. Are we rooting for each other when we're there? Would we like to see a Warriors-Mavericks district championship game? Julian, how do you feel? You played against these guys twice this year, and they beat you both times.
No,
You know that, right?
yeah, I know that. I'm rooting for him because like I have a lot of friends on the team, of course. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who we play. It's just like it's baseball, and we're just gonna go out there and give it our all, and hopefully we come out on top at the end of the day.
Tommy, you guys have the second game of the doubleheader. Are you going to be keeping an eye on what's going on while they're playing, or do you guys try to block that out and just do your own thing?
I'm going to try to focus up on my game as much as possible, but I'm certainly going to keep an eye on, you know, how Julian's doing and how Edmonds-Woodway's doing against a tough Arlington team for sure. Yeah.
Edmonds-Woodway, Meadowdale. Edmonds-Woodway over the years seems to have gotten the better end of that deal, but this year, like we just mentioned, Meadowdale getting you. And this guy here, Julian, did it hurt the friendship? He hit a walk-off 2-run home run against you guys earlier this year to win a game. How are you feeling about that right now? I mean, did you look at him afterwards and go, Tommy, what's up? What are you doing? Or
no, I congratulated him. He knows.
Yeah.
I was shocked that he hit it out. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I mean, at the end, like he put a good swing on it. Like there's nothing I can say about that. They beat us fair and square.
And Tommy, and really for that matter, Julian, when we had both of you in for interviews with your teammates earlier this year, you both mentioned that it's always a little extra special when you beat the other team, when it's Meadowdale and Edmonds-Woodway.
Yeah.
Hitting that home run, the walk-off, where does that rank for you in terms of memorable moments in your baseball career?
I can safely say that is number one on my baseball memory list out of all time, because just to do it against Edmonds-Woodway and my friend Julian, not off of him, of course, off of Ty Starchman, but yeah, it was just so awesome. And, you know, they're our rivals, and that was so much fun.
Hey, speaking of which, we should talk about the seasons here a little bit, too. Edmonds-Woodway, again, we're kind of used to seeing them atop the standings over the last few years. I know you guys finished tied for second this year behind Meadowdale and with Mountlake Terrace. Baseball season as a whole, are you guys feeling pretty good about where things are at? Obviously, you're ultimately where you need to be right now, which is the district semifinals.
Yeah.
How has the season been for you guys?
You know, it's been a roller coaster. I'm not gonna lie. We were up and down in the beginning of the season, but honestly, like I wouldn't change it for any other way of my senior year to end it this way. It's been so fun. I love how like our team at first was like a bunch of like new. We had a bunch of new kids, like I told you, and they all just came in. They all stepped up towards the end, and I love how much we've grown as a team. That's just so fun to watch. I wouldn't have changed this any other way for my senior season.
And we should mention, too, while we're at it, we're going to give both these guys a shirt because they've earned it throughout the course of the year, and we hadn't had a chance to yet, so now that they're here, but both at different times have won our Action Jackson Plumbing Player of the Week shirts. Julian, I'm going to hand that over to you because you had not, I was going to say not one, but two. You almost had back-to-back no-hitters, and we should talk about why that happened. You get one against, I believe it was Shorecrest, no-hitter. The very next outing you pitched against who?
No, I think it was Linwood first.
Was it Linwood first and Shorecrest?
Yeah.
Shorecrest, and we've got this new rule in place this year with the WIAA. Pitchers are on a pitch count, so once you hit 105 pitches in a game, you have to be removed from the game. You were 2 strikes away from your second back-to-back no-hitter, and you hit that 105 count. Tell me about that game a little bit. Does it still kind of stick in your crawl a little that you didn't get a chance to complete that, or do you think about it at all?
Everyone on the team reminds me. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Did you know where the pitch count was when you were heading into that final batter?
Yeah.
So you knew? Did you know going into the inning that, hey, I got to get these guys out quick because of
Yeah, I did, and I got the first 2 guys out quick, but then that last batter, I just couldn't throw to him. I got 1 strike on him, but then I just ran out of pitches.
The pitch count is in place to kind of protect pitchers and the arms and whatnot. Tommy, do you like that rule? Is it factored in for you at all this year? And Do you kind of get where they're going with that, or
Yeah.
what do the pitchers say about that?
I've reached it twice this year, and I think it's a good number. I think there needs to be some changes to it here and there because, if you're that close to a no-hitter, you should be able to finish the at-bat or, something along those lines. But, yeah, for player safety, it's definitely a good measure to take for sure. Yeah.
And we've also got a shirt here for Tommy. We could have given him one on a number of occasions this year, not only for what happened this past weekend, but certainly a 2-home run game for you against Mountlake Terrace.
Yeah.
We talked about the walk-off against Edmonds-Woodway. I know you've had a phenomenal pitching season and getting it done at the plate too, which that's what gets lost, I think, for both of you guys. You're both outstanding pitchers, but you also have high batting averages and hit a lot of guys in. And Tommy, we're going to give you that shirt.
Yeah, thank you very much.
As far as the overall season for Meadowdale, I know the goal was to try to get a Wesco South title this year, and you got it. So how's the team feeling?
We're definitely, super motivated to, continue that and keep on winning. But, getting that since our first title in the South since 2012, it was a really good feeling, and we celebrated a little bit after the game. And, yeah, it was awesome, especially my senior year, to do it where, it counts most. So, yeah, it was awesome.
Is it more special knowing how long it's taken this Maverick team to get back there?
Yeah, I think so. If you're doing it every year, I mean, it's still special, but, it loses its value for sure, if it's happening year after year. But it's been a while for us, and we've had a couple, down years, but it's good that we're putting everything together right now and, playing well.
Playing well at the right time, and they're both, as far as they can get right now, they're both advancing into the semifinals of the district tournament. Again, Arlington versus Edmonds-Woodway, 3:45 start time on Tuesday over at Everett Memorial Stadium, followed by Meadowdale, Marysville-Pilchuck at 6:15. Tommy, Julian, guys, congratulations on getting here thus far, and we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, that on, I guess it would be next Saturday, if everything works out, potentially an all Edmonds School District championship game, which would be 4 o'clock, also at Everett Memorial. But until then, best of luck to the Warriors and the Mavericks. Tommy and Julian, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, I have to say, as someone who's been around baseball for a long time, I always have a lot of admiration for those players who can be opponents but still admire each other's games.
Yeah, and opponents at high school, but those two have played select ball together over the years. And certainly nowadays, more and more we see a lot of that, being that there are so many other teams out there other than just high school teams.
Yeah. Great guys. And I wish them both the best of luck, whoever ends up winning.
How cool would that be, though, to see a district championship next week between Edmonds-Woodway and Meadowdale?
Yeah, that'd be
The
fun.
rivalry's already there. It's already
Yeah.
built in, but talk about magnifying it. Next Saturday could be very interesting.
It could be very interesting. And you have some softball to talk about.
Yeah, we figured we'd follow softball up because we had Tommy in here who had a heck of a weekend, and did he ever, right?
Yeah,
5
my
RBI and
gosh.
almost threw a no-hitter in that district game. Little sister, Olivia, her Meadowdale softball team also picking up a nice win on Friday. They defeated Edmonds-Woodway. That means that the two teams split for the year. They're now tied for first place together, and they both have 2 games left in their regular season. Meadowdale has a game at Shorewood on Monday, followed by a home game against Mountlake Terrace at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. Edmonds-Woodway, they play at home against Shorecrest for the final time this year during the regular season. That's on Monday, and then they travel to Linwood on Tuesday. So if both of those teams are able to sweep their opponents, they'll be co-Wesco 3A South champions. So congratulations to the Warriors and the Mavericks for what they've been able to accomplish this year. And then not too far behind them, Mountlake Terrace, they won their senior night game on Friday. They put up 14 runs in the second inning against Shorewood and route to a nice victory for them. Mountlake Terrace is 9-6 in league play, and they will start their 2A district playoff tournament next Saturday.
Okay. Well, and now we're on to soccer.
We are. One game we need to mention right away, a game that I think caught a lot of us by surprise. The Linwood Royals in round 1 of the district tournament, they defeated Marysville-Pilchuck 1-0. Marysville-Pilchuck won the Wesco 3A title outright. I don't think too many people were expecting them to lose to Linwood. Linwood pulls off the victory, so they will be playing Shorecrest on Tuesday night over at Shoreline Stadium, 7 p.m. start time. And again, that's a semifinal game, so if they're able to win that, they would advance to the district championship. And then Mountlake Terrace, we're going to talk about them for a moment. They are playing over in the 2A tournament, picked up a loser-out victory over Cedral Woolley last week, and then they advanced to play Archbishop Murphy over the weekend, the 3-time defending state champions. Unfortunately for the Hawks, they lose that game. Fortunately, it's a double elimination tournament at this point, so they are still in the tournament, 2 victories away from advancing to the state tournament for what would be the 3rd consecutive year. So we thought we'd bring a couple of Hawks in to talk about that. Ryan Coffman, along with superstar Bobby Stoyanov, who is shattering all sorts of records this year. Here's the conversation we had with Ryan and Bobby. District playoff soccer action is underway, and one of the local teams trying to get to state for the third consecutive year is with us right now. It's the Mountlake Terrace Hawks, and with us, forward Bobby Stoyanov and defender Ryan Coffman. Guys, first of all, congratulations on what's been a nice season so far for you guys. Trying to get back again, Bobby. Nothing like being a team with a target this year, I guess. You guys made it to the state semifinals last year. Does it change the way teams approach you this year?
Yeah, this year definitely has been. I've been seeing a lot of double teams, some games even triple teams. Yeah, coaches just have guys kind of follow me around all game, but I kind of like it this way because it helps me free up my other teammates and I get them more chances, and that way they have to respect my teammates, and that kind of gives me more space because we have a lot of good players on our team, so it helps.
Ryan, what's the season been like for you so far? I mean, this is a team that when you guys win, you tend to win big. Some of your losses haven't been so pretty, so to speak. Kind of a roller coaster season. Is it one that you guys are enjoying? Are you having fun playing with this team?
So for the most part, yes, I enjoy playing with my back line. For the beginning, we weren't with each other. We weren't like connected, but towards the end of the season, we got like more communication like with each other, and it's been a better season towards the end. Just trust each other more.
And Bobby, we're certainly going to talk a lot about Mountlake Terrace as a team here in a moment, but some of the things you've done individually this year are just ridiculous. We've talked about you off and on throughout the course of the spring, but you've had a 6-goal game, you've had a 7-goal game. That wasn't enough. Why not break the school record one more time? You've had an 8-goal game, 46 goals on the year for you so far. You've shattered the school record, and there have been some great ones to go through Mountlake Terrace. Talk a little bit about your season and just what the expectations were coming into the year and what you've been able to accomplish.
Well, there wasn't really much expectation because I didn't even know if I was going to play high school soccer coming into the school year because I was playing with the Sounders. But thankfully, after talking to Jameis a lot, I kind of did what was best for myself, and I decided to play for the school and give it one last run, and it's been a really good one. I've just had a lot of fun this year. My teammates have been playing really well. I got these 46 goals wouldn't come. They always need an assist, so my teammates have been there for me, giving me great balls in behind and to my feet and whatever they need to do. And luckily, I've just been in the right place at the right time, and I've put my chances away, and here we are.
Well, and you had a 6-goal game during a district playoff last year, a game in which you guys won 6-5, so you needed each and every one of those goals. When you're in the moment like that and you're scoring, whether it's you're 4 goals in or 5 goals in, do you keep track in your head? Do you know how many goals you've had in a particular game?
Oh, I always know. Yeah, the number's always in the back of my head. And if you know me really well, you know my dad's always at every game, and he's just my biggest motivator. He'll always be pushing me to get more. He'll be like, "Why not get another? This, that." And so it always keeps me going. I always keep trying to get more, do whatever I can to help the team win.
Ryan, what's it been like for you guys as teammates of Bobby? I mean, I've got to think as a defensive player, if he goes out and gets a couple goals early in a game, it puts your mind at ease, right? I mean, does it take some of the pressure off the defensive line?
It definitely does take some of the pressure off because once we're up a couple of goals, they aren't going to be pushing as hard because their heads are down, and it just makes the game a lot easier for us. But yeah.
And Bobby's been winning a lot of accolades and getting a lot of notoriety over the last couple of years, and we've seen it with. I know you were one of the Elite 11 players in the Seattle Times last year, and no doubt you'll get that award again this year. Might be Player of the Year in a couple different newspaper publications, all state honors. Ryan, we've seen it time and time again in different sports and different schools, even at the professional level, where sometimes jealousy sets in or people get a little envious of the attention that one player's getting. What's it been like for this particular team? Does everybody rally around it? Do they enjoy it, or how does that play out?
I haven't really seen any jealousy between the players. They all really appreciate what Bobby's doing, so they always support it when he scores 5 goals, 6 goals. It just makes the team happy. So I think they all are on board with it.
And Bobby, what's it been like for you in that regard? All the guys fairly supportive? Do they get excited when you set one of these school records?
Yeah, when I had the 8-goal game, I remember I was at 7, and everyone was just sitting there pushing me. They're like, "You got to get 8, you got to do it, you got to get another." But Jameis just wanted to sub me off and just rest me up for the next game. But everyone was just pushing me towards it, and that's been the thing all season. We're a really good unit. We work really well together, and everyone's always pushing each other. So everyone has my back, and I have their back. So it works out really well.
Speaking of 8, and this is something I didn't realize until today when it was pointed out to me. You wear the number 8. A couple of other Mountlake Terrace great soccer players have also worn that number. Dana Gardner, who had the school record for goals in a season before you came along and was also a star at Seattle Pacific University. as well as on the girls' side of things, Janelle, now Janelle Munnis, who was Janelle King at the time, who was a 2-time state champion and was one of the better players to ever come out of this area. All of you wore the number 8. What is it about that jersey number, and do we need to retire that thing?
I mean, we might have to because there have been a lot of greats before me that wore it, as you said. And it's been an honor that the number's still available for me to even wear. But usually my number's 23. That's been my number since I was a little kid. But for Terrace, we don't have that number like in a varsity jersey. So I was thinking about just what number to pick, and one of the best Bulgarian players of all time, his name was Christos Stoichkov. He won the Ballon d'Or in 1994. He has always been like my idol, so I picked that number because he wore it, and it's just worked out for me well ever since.
And Ryan, you're the number 3 out there. Does that number have any symbolic meaning to you? Or?
It actually kind of does. One of the best defenders is Paolo Maldini, and that's his number 3. And when I was picking my number, that's the one I wanted to pick. I thought it was cool.
Very, very nicely done for both of you. Hey, talk about your teammates a little bit. Tell me a little bit about some of the defensive line that we watch if we go to a Hawks game, and we'll start off with the defenders, and then maybe we'll work our way over to the goalkeeper. Who's playing on the line with you?
So on the line, it's Kevin Brulette. He plays the left back. He does a really good job when he gets in the air. He always goes for the ball. Then we play a sweeper stopper with Aaron Cox in the back, and then Ty, what's his last name?
Harris.
Ty Harris. He plays right above him, and so most of the part time, Aaron will be more like an open space in the back, just in case the ball gets over, he'll be there, and Ty will be marking a man, and then I play right back. But between like us 4, we, like I said, over the season we got a lot better with talking with each other and always covering each other's backs. So for the most part, it's pretty good. Sometimes if we're not communicating, it can go straight to a mess. Like they'll get by us and we won't get back in time, and then sometimes they score. But
And if they do get by you, who's back there to stop them? Who's in the goal?
that's Jeremy, and he does a good part for most of the time. He needs to come off his line a little bit more, but he's a good kid, and usually he'll stop the ball.
That's Jeremy Reitz, who's only a sophomore. So,
Yeah.
And then up front, who are we looking at? We'll start with the midfield. Who's assisting you on some of these goals?
So we've been really lucky to get 2 transfers this year. One is our center defending mid, Griffin Ovanel. He came from Cedar Park Christian, and he's been a really big key to our team this year and our success. And then we had Andy Lee, transferred from North Carolina. We got really lucky there too, and he's been a fantastic player, one of probably the better players I've ever played with, honestly. And so he does a really good job finding me in spaces that most people don't see. And then we have Max Jackson, a senior, who's been just a key player throughout his whole entire high school career to the team. He's been a starter since his sophomore year and has always played a big role for us. And then we have our other captain, Diego, who plays out left. He's one of our biggest guys when it comes to set pieces. He's always in the air, gets up higher than almost anyone I've ever seen, and gets his head on a lot of things and puts in a lot of goals for us. And then our right, we have my fellow Bulgarian Christian, who plays out right, who's one of my best buds, and it's been really cool having him out there this year because he didn't play last year, and he's been a really big part to our success this year.
So 2 Bulgarian guys out there. Do we have nicknames? Or I know we were calling you the bulldozer last year. Is there
He doesn't have one yet. Dino calls him the Bulgarian shovel, but
okay.
yeah.
Perhaps if you guys get back to state, we can work on that.
Yeah, we'll have to figure something out.
Hey, tell me a little bit about the coaching staff. Coach Dramesis, somebody you guys are fairly close to. I know you already mentioned him, Bobby, earlier in the show. Tell me what it's like to play for him.
I mean, the one thing about Jameis is he's really close to his players, and that's one thing I really like about him. We have a really good connection. He has a good connection with everyone, and he's really good at just being there for us and having our backs, and he really believes in us, and he'll always be there for us. He'll always have our side when anything ever comes up, and he really pushes us every day at training, and that's what makes us better, and that's what's got us to state the last 3 years, for hopefully 3 years.
Ryan, what have you taken away from the coaching staff this year?
He jokes the joke around a lot, and that helps the team's morale.
Keeps you loose?
Yeah, keeps us loose. He'll always be cracking jokes, just messing with the players, but in a good way. And then he'll just always push us at practice, like Bum said. So yeah.
So we're going to get into the playoff talking here in a second, but as far as when we look at the season as a whole, favorite moment as a member of this team this year? And Ryan, maybe I'll start with you. Do you have a particular moment this year that stands out to you?
Yeah, it was against Edmonds-Woodway, and it was when I had to defend Ben Forder the whole game because
Former Terrace player too, right?
Terrace player.
Yeah.
We have some rivalries going on, but I did a good job. Couldn't get by me.
And you guys got the victory on senior night for the Warriors too.
Yeah.
And Bobby, what about you? You've had so many moments this year. Is there a favorite goal or a favorite situation you were in that you kind of stands out?
Favorite goal's tough. My favorite goal might be against Linwood. When I had a free kick against them to put us up 2-0, and that was just cool because whenever we play Linwood, it's always a packed crowd. You got it from corner flag to corner flag, just filled with people there. And that one was just big because they always have their hecklers and stuff, and everyone was like booing me and stuff before I shot it, and then it went and flew in, and we went up 2-0, and we went on to win that game, so that one was big. But one of my favorite moments this year might have been against Woodway when it was 3-1 in the game. We just got a red card, so they were pushing us, trying to come back, and Ryan Coffman made the play that won the game for us. Comes out, gets a guy off a corner, and just breaks for like a 50-yard run and then passes it across to me. And luckily I get fouled and I score the PK that wins us the game. That one was big. That was a big moment for us in the year because we really needed that win against Woodway. So yeah, that one was huge.
Yeah, it's helped you to get where you are right now, which is into the district playoffs. And we're looking at it here. You guys started off district play against Cedar-Woolley this year. Questionable early there. Cedar-Woolley gets a goal, I think 5 or 6 minutes in, and then you guys just decided to slam the door on them with 5 straight goals. You get a 5-1 victory. What was that game like for you, Ryan?
So in the first, like you said, in the first 5 minutes when they scored, I thought the outcome was going to be a lot different. But once we kind of overcame that goal and we just wanted to push and push, our mindset changed and we just wanted to just destroy them pretty much. We just got back into our groove and we scored 5 goals. So.
And we should ask you too. We talked about the defensive players a minute ago. Bobby, tell me a little bit about this guy here and what Ryan's like out on the field.
Well, Ryan's exactly the kind of teammate you want whenever you play on any team regarding sports. He goes in every day, doesn't complain, always gives his 100%. He's just a guy you want to go to war with every day. He's just going to be there for you at all times, and he'll give his all at all times, and it makes it really fun to play with because you got a guy out there who's going to work for you at every moment.
And what's it like playing with Bobby?
I love playing with Bob because he always whenever he gets the ball, he can either get past 3 people or he'll always find that pass that you won't really see. He's always telling us what to do, which helps because a lot of the people are really quiet on the team. He's always talking. Overall, he just works really hard, and at practice too, I like defending him because it's a challenge against
Makes you better.
Makes me better, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So over the weekend, not such a great moment for you guys. You lose to Archbishop Murphy on Saturday. It puts you into the consolation bracket. So really, it's very simple now. You guys play Tuesday evening, 5:30 start time against Burlington Edison over at Edmonds Stadium. If you lose that game, your season comes to an end. If you win that game, you play on Thursday at against an opponent and at a time and place to be determined. How big of a game is this on Tuesday in terms of needing energy and needing to get the crowd out there? We want to promote this a little bit and get these folks who are watching this in the camera right now out there. How important would it be to have a nice crowd at Edmonds Stadium on Tuesday night, Bobby?
It's huge. I mean, the crowd is one of the biggest things for me. I love playing in front of just a lot of fans. It always pushes me to do better. It means a lot to me playing for the school and representing everyone that you go to school with. So it's always big seeing all the people out there. And if you guys make it out there, I promise it'll be a good game. I promise I'll put on a good game for everyone. And our team, I promise we'll get the victory for you guys if you guys come out.
And Ryan, when you get to a point where you're in the consolation bracket and it's one and done, puts a little extra pressure on you. Do you guys relish that pressure? Does it force you to rise your game up a little bit? Or?
It definitely does. Yeah, you can see it in everyone in the back line. They're always fired up when the stakes are really high.
And the stakes couldn't get any higher. So again, Tuesday, 5:30 over at Edmonds Stadium. We hope to see a lot of folks there. Hey, Ryan, Bobby, and before I let you go too, seniors, both of you. Ryan, I'm going to ask you first. What's your plan for next year?
I'm going to go play for Shoreline Community College.
Okay.
I got offered by the JV coach because he coaches for the team over there. I thought that was a cool idea. So
nice pipeline going over there right now for Terrace. So certainly we wish you luck there. And then Bobby, you're not going to stick around the States. You're going overseas, right?
Yeah. So luckily I have the opportunity to play in England. I'm committed to Richmond International Academy of Soccer and Academics right in Leeds. So come August 1st, that's my official day. I go to England and hopefully I reach the goal that I've always wanted to do, and it's become a pro soccer player. So halfway there, I guess you could say. I have one foot in the door, but I need to finish.
A lot of American players over there in that particular program?
Yeah, there's players from all around the world, really. So, I mean, you have guys from just everywhere in Europe. You have some guys from the USA, too. So it'll be just a big pool of really good players, and I'm excited to be there.
Bobby's going to trot around the globe, but first he's going to be over at Edmonds Stadium on Tuesday. So again, Burlington Edison first and foremost, and then hopefully into Thursday. And if everything works out, the state tournament starts the following week. Ryan, Bobby, thank you both for coming in, and best of luck to the Hawks the rest of the way.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Well, great news for Bobby going to England. That's really amazing.
Yeah, and talk about a place that knows a thing or two about soccer.
Yeah.
They can play over there in England, and certainly for him to enhance his opportunities to play professionally someday, not a bad way to start off his collegiate career. And I would no doubt wouldn't shock me at all if he ends up becoming a professional player someday.
Yeah, me either. Well, what else do we have to talk about today?
A little bit of everything. Again, it's playoff time, so we had a lot of big tournaments last week, and as well as things coming up this week. We're going to start off by talking track and field. The Edmonds School District Championships took place on Friday. Edmonds-Woodway Warriors winning both the boys and the girls team scores rather handedly this year. A team that just missed out on winning both last year, tying in one and missing out on the other by 1 point. This year, no contest. The Warriors definitely are the team to beat. And one particular athlete that we want to single out because we're going to give her our Action Jackson Plumbing Player of the Week award. And this one's going to go to a freshman, Caddy Korgura. I think we said her name right. If not, we know that her accomplishments are much better than my pronunciations. She took first place in the 100, the 200, the 4x100, and the 4x200. It's 4 championships for the freshman. And again, really early in her career, and we wish her the best as now we move on to the 3A South Championships. That'll take place on Wednesday and Friday over at Edmonds Stadium. So all 4 of our schools, along with Shorewood and Shorecrest, so we'll see what they can do over there. Other sports we also want to give a shout out to right now, golf. We've got the Wesco 3A South Division Championships coming up on Thursday for the boys. They're going to be at Battle Creek Golf Course in Marysville. The girls on Tuesday are going to be playing over on Camino Island. So all of our golfers in action this week as they try to qualify for districts and for the state tournament. Tennis. The girls are going to be over at Jackson High School on Tuesday and Wednesday. This is also the 3A South Division tournament. So again, a number of our tennis players trying to move on to the next round there. And again, a lot of soccer going on, baseball, softball, a little bit of everything, and it should give us plenty to talk about next week.
Very good. Well, we thank you as always for joining us, and we'll have all the results next week. Have a great week, everybody.